You guys asked, so I'm delivering. Today is all about apples. Hey guys, my name is Vanessa. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am sharing 3 different apple recipes because I've done a few pumpkin ones and everyone's like, yo, I need some apples in my life. So that is what today is all about. And it's not just apples. We're gonna have some Instant Pot action going on, crock pot and stove. So something for everybody. Not only that, this video is in collaboration with Kristen over at Six Sister Stuff. She is sister number 2 and we have been friends for almost, actually I think it's over a year now. Wow, time definitely flies. We were introduced through YouTube and it has just been so much fun since meeting. We have definitely gotten to know each other a lot better and I'm really excited to share her channel with you guys today. She does a lot of cooking. She has a Monday series where it's all about the Instant Pot. So if you are an Instant Pot lover and you're not already following Kristen, you definitely need to go over there and show her some love. I will have her channel linked down below and it's up in the eye in the sky if you guys want to click on that. So let's go ahead and get into these 3 apple recipes. So first we're gonna make the drink, and actually I need a different item before I get into the Instant Pot part of this. So I have 2.5 cups of filtered water and 8 small apples that I just cored and chopped up into little pieces. I am keeping the peel on and I'm gonna get both of these into my blender and we're gonna blend it until the apples are completely liquefied and everything is combined. All right, once that is all liquefied, I don't want it to be chunky, so I'm keeping the same measuring cup that I had the water in, and I have this very fine mesh strainer and I'm going to be pouring this in here so none of the chunks get into my actual apple cider when we move on to the next step. All right, once you have your apple juice, so those 8 small apples gave me almost 4 cups. However, I do want 5 cups of liquid. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour my apple juice into the Instant Pot, and then I'm going to put another, just a little over 1 cup of filtered water in here as well. All right, so I've got my water and adding that in there also. And next up, you've got 2 options. You can buy an orange and juice it yourself, or if you already have orange juice and you don't wanna do the extra step, you just need about 1/4 cup of orange juice, and that's going in here as well. Now, quick little tip though, if you are making your own orange juice, if you are juicing your own orange, I had a hard time saying that, you are gonna wanna zest the orange because we're gonna add the orange zest in a little bit as well. Okay, we are adding a few more things and then we will get cooking. So I have a 1/4 cup of real maple syrup. I'm adding that into my pot. Then 2 cinnamon sticks. And in here I have the orange zest. This is a very small chunk of ginger. And then these little guys I wanted to show you are whole cloves, and I have 7 in here. So all of these are going in here as well. I'm gonna have to, there we go. So we are going to put our pot on saute, and we're gonna leave it on saute until our juice or our cider starts to boil. All right, it is boiling nicely. That took about 7 minutes, so I'm going to turn that off. We're gonna put our lid on, make sure it is sealing, and we are gonna cook it on manual for 10 minutes. Once your Instant Pot is done, the time is over, you're gonna go ahead and turn it off. You're going to let the pressure release naturally for 15 minutes, so you are not going to turn your nozzle. You're gonna leave it on sealing, and then after 15 minutes is up, we'll come back, release any of the extra pressure that is left in there by turning the nozzle to release, and then we will move on to finishing up our apple cider. All right, pressure is completely released. We can take off the lid. It smells so good. Give it a little stir, and then the next step involves you going to your sink. So what I have is I'm gonna use my strainer again, and I'm just going to pour this out over the pitcher just to get all the extra pulp, the cloves, all of that, to catch that in that strainer. And of course, this is gonna be super hot, so you are going to need some oven mitts. Do not touch that pot. And there you have it. Now you can strain this as many times as you want to get all the extra stuff out, but I kind of like a little bit of pulp in mine. So just pour it into your favorite mug or glass, and there is some spiced apple cider. So for dinner, we're having a Harvest chicken, apple, Brussels sprouts, skillet. Now the amount of ingredients might scare you. There is quite a bit of prep work. We've got bacon, apples, Brussels sprouts, onion, sweet potato, and chicken that all of them I had to chop up, but it's really yummy and it really is not that hard. So first up, we're gonna cook our chicken. So to cook our chicken, in my skillet, I have 1 tablespoon of olive oil that I am heating up, and it's already hot. So once that's hot, I'm just going to dump my chicken in. And I'll have to use a spoon or fork to get the rest of that in there. And I am adding half a teaspoon of salt and pepper. And we're just going to cook our chicken until it is nice and brown and cooked through. Here it's sizzling, so about 5 minutes later, and my chicken is done. And this is a very forgiving recipe. You can use different amounts, whatever you want for the size of your family. I am using 1 pound of chicken tenders that I just cut up into little bite-sized pieces. So now that my chicken is done, I am going to transfer it to a plate here. I did put a paper towel down so it can absorb some of the oil, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get my chicken onto my paper towel lined plate. Once I've got my chicken out of the skillet, I did turn the skillet down to about medium-high, 6, according to my stovetop. Now I am adding 5 pieces of thick cut bacon that I, again, just chopped up into little pieces. And we're gonna cook that until it's done. Okay, it's been about 8 minutes and my bacon is done to how I want it. So I'm taking this out of the skillet also, and just what I did, instead of dirtying another plate, is I just put another paper towel on top of my chicken, and I'm going to put my bacon on top of that. And I do not want all this bacon fat, bacon grease in my skillet for the next step, but I do want some of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and drain all but maybe about a tablespoon and keep that for what is gonna be going in here next. All right, back at the skillet, still on medium high. I am adding 3 small sweet potatoes that I cubed up into little bite-sized pieces. Also adding Brussels sprouts that I just halved. You could cut them even smaller, quarter them, however you like to eat them. And this is about a pound. And then I'm also adding 1 medium onion that I chopped up, and half a teaspoon of salt. So we're gonna cook this, stirring pretty frequently for probably about 10 minutes. We want the onions to become translucent. I just love these colors together. How pretty does that look? So my onions are nice and clear. Now I am adding in, this is 2 fairly large Granny Smith apples that I peeled and chopped. So I'm adding those in. Then I've got 2 teaspoons of thyme. You could use fresh if you want. 2 teaspoons of garlic and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And we're gonna mix all this together really good. So once you've got all the seasonings really mixed around really well, it doesn't look as pretty anymore. I have 1 cup of chicken broth, but I'm only gonna put in half of it right now. So just put in half a cup, and then we're going to bring this to a boil and keep it boiling until that broth is totally evaporated. Okay, so that only took about 2 minutes. All of that broth has been evaporated or soaked into everything you've got here in your skillet. So now I am going to be adding my chicken back in. So I took my bacon off. I took the chicken off the paper towel, and then I'm just gonna add my chicken back into the skillet along with the other half a cup of chicken broth. And then I'm just going to stir this up and let the chicken heat back up in here. And this should only take another maybe 2-3 minutes. And last step, you're just going to add your bacon back in, mix it all up, and it's ready to serve. All right, and here it is, the final dinner in a bowl. Now you definitely wanna serve this warm. It just tastes so good. I love the combination of the fall flavors mixed in with what I normally cook throughout the year, the chicken and the Brussels sprouts. So good. You're definitely gonna wanna give this a try. Now it is time for dessert. So I have my crock pot. Dessert is in the crock pot, and I have gone ahead and sprayed it with some Pam. All right, in my crock pot, I have 2 cans of apple fruit filling. These are 21 ounces. Now I am just going to take my spoon and I'm going to spread these as even as I can, just making sure the entire bottom is covered. Just a nice even-ish layer. Once you've got your apple all spread out, you're just gonna take some ground cinnamon and sprinkle it over the top. If you are not a huge cinnamon fan, you could definitely omit this. I've got a small bowl here, and in there I went ahead and put the mix, a spice cake mix. Any brand is fine. I just picked up the Betty Crocker Delight Super Moist Spice Cake Mix. I got that whole bag in here. And then on top of that, I am going to pour a stick of melted butter. And we're gonna mix this up until it's nice and crumbly. Okay, make sure your hands are nice and clean, because the easiest way to do this part is getting them dirty again. So you're just gonna take your mixture and you're gonna crumble it all over the top. All right, it is all covered. I've got all the spice cake mix and butter mixture crumbled on top of the apples and cinnamon. I'm going to put my lid on, and I am going to cook mine on low for 4 hours because it is just after lunchtime. You can cook it on high for 2 hours if you are, wanting this done a little bit more quickly. But again, I'm gonna cook mine on low for 4 hours. And 4 hours later, dessert is ready. Oh, it smells so good. It tastes good. It is super hot. I already took a bite, but my ice cream is already melting. So you can serve it with some ice cream. I also had some caramel sauce, so I went ahead and drizzled that on top. Also with this would be really good whipped cream. If you're not a huge ice cream fan, use whipped cream, maybe some extra cinnamon. Really, you can top it with whatever you want, but oh my goodness, this is so good, and it was so easy. All right, that is it. A drink, dinner, and dessert. And actually, that harvest skillet I have made several times for lunch, and I just prep it and I put it into food containers, and my husband and I eat on it for about half of the week. It is so good, nice and easy, and pretty healthy for a lunch option. So I wanted to let you guys know that as well. It's not just perfect for dinner, it's awesome for lunch as well. Definitely one of my favorite recipes. I hope you guys love it as much as I do. So I will have links to the original recipes where I found these a few years ago down below. I do a couple changes, which I shared in my video. So if you want to make them exactly like me, just write them down as you're watching, or you can click on the recipes down below and use their original ones. So thanks again so much for hanging out. If you are new, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and stick around. I do a lot of stuff in the kitchen here, recipes, a couple kitchen tips, tricks, hints, that kind of thing, and I would love for you to join my YouTube family. Don't forget to check out Kristen's channel down below. She definitely has some more apple recipes going on for you guys. So give this video a big thumbs up if you are a fan of apples, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.